If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith.
Those times of hopelessness, those times when you look in the mirror and you feel like you're a failure. There's times when you feel like you just want to give up. But I promise you this, somehow, some way, it's going to be okay.
When we live a faith-driven life, I expand my vision of doing things beyond my comfort zone.
See, every time that something really happened to me in my life, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I just had to step out in faith. If I had to see everything before it happened, it never really happened.
I win or I learn, but I never lose. And that allows me to get back up, contextualize it, and keep on trying.
Where you are is where you're supposed to be. And by moving forward, the strength of your faith will unleash the power of the Creator in your life.
Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't quit. Stop thinking you're a failure. Stop looking in the mirror and seeing and thinking that you're not enough. You are enough. And I promise you, somehow, some way, everything is going to be okay.
It's having trust and faith, knowing everything is awaiting you on the other side.
While you're sitting around.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another beautiful, blessed, and grateful day. Super excited coming in to the beginning of this week. There's been so much momentum, so much growth already happening inside the month of November, and I truly know that this has already been a November to remember. So fired up, ready to go ahead and dive into today's topic. Today, we are going to be talking about how to go ahead and start turning on the lights, how to really keep the faith. And I've got a phenomenal visualization at the end of it to really go ahead and tie everything together. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and drop a little bit of gratitude coming in for today. What is everybody grateful for coming into the morning? Grateful for God, grateful to be alive, grateful for the mind, for the body, for the spirit. We had a phenomenal morning routine this morning, up bright and early before the crack of dawn, watch the sun peak literally over the horizon, get in journaling, get a really strong meditation this morning, being able to not only just think, but the key, being able to feel it as well. I'm going to get really in depth with that today as well. So I hope you guys are ready. And when it comes to the challenge, right, how many days is everybody on as far as it comes to your journaling and your gratitude? Check it out. Let's get it documented. Where are we at? We are on day 109. Right. So drop your days. I'm proud of you guys for staying consistent. I'm so excited to see the growth to continue to flow to and through you. So let's go ahead and keep it going. Day 99. Oh, my goodness. She's about to crack day 100. I love it. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it for today, family, on how to go ahead and turn on the lights, how to go ahead and really start stepping into your greatness. Okay. So a couple different things I want to go ahead and touch on as we get into today. First question is this, okay? Why do you think, right, even like Robin Sharma, why do you think he wrote the 5 a.m. club, right? Why do you think a lot of successful individuals end up getting up earlier than most? Okay, this is the first thing I want to talk about getting into today, because truth be told, this used to be one of my weak points, right? Being able to get up late. I used to stay up really late and I would get up a little bit later, right? I'd get up around 8 or 9, and I realized I was a little bit behind most people. Even though getting up somewhat early, I still realized those extra couple hours is a reason why so many people were lapping me up. So I had to understand, what am I missing in my routine, my rituals right now, that's really holding me back from getting to the next level? To be honest, the morning routine was a huge piece. So the first thing it comes to when it comes to building your faith is, a lot of the time, it's not our plan that sucks. To be honest, it's our execution that ends up not end up following up, right? A lot of us, we know what to do, but when it comes to actually taking the actions, that is one of the biggest gaps, right? Jim Rohn talks about it all the time. One of the biggest gaps for most people is the gap between knowing and the gap between doing, right? The in the middle. This is where the magic really happens. So I want to ask you guys a quick question today, because we're on our day. You know, some of us are in the hundreds, some of us are working towards every day. But let me ask you the first question, okay? How much gratitude were we filled up this morning? How much gratitude did we go ahead and give out for the morning? Sean Murphy talks about all the time, just making it as a ritual, as a routine, to be able to send out gratitude messages, to be able to send out messages of love. Because if you get a real serious question today, here it is. How many people are going to tell you thank you today? Start thinking about that. How many people are actually going to tell you thank you because you were of service today? And here's what I just started realizing, okay? When I used to be very introverted, when I used to see others soaring by and wonder, why is it happening to me? Guess what? It's hard to show love. It's hard to go out and create new relationships when you're inside of your own head, when there's an ego going on, when there's jealousy. But you see, when we're able to go ahead and let that go, now when you see others winning, you don't get irritated, you get motivated. When you see a new relationship, you're not looking to go ahead and hide in a shell. You're looking to go ahead and make that connection because you understand what can actually come on the other side. So for me, as I started opening up gratitude, guess what? My life started to open up, people, places, and opportunities into my life. So even when I wasn't feeling the best, being able to send out gratitude, being able to put out positivity, being able to put out value, guess what? You're going to start attracting that back into your life. And here's what happens. 11:11, paint your vision. There's things that's happening right now off of your radar that you might not be able to see what's happening right now. But I promise you, as you're putting in the work, as you're doing your daily rituals, as you're doing, 1% every day, I promise you're going to have the right thing just become magnetic and attract into your life. Leaders into your organization, withdrawing from your trading accounts, right? Actually having videos that really start going viral. All of this happens when you start tapping into the right feeling, when you're able to start really thinking with abundance, when you're able to start letting go of anything that is limiting our beliefs, our habits, and our thoughts. Okay, so this is huge. So I want to give you guys another question today. And this is coming from Sean's training, so you already know this is fire. Okay, if I were to ask you about our potential, okay, is our potential limited or is it not? This is where things really started getting interesting today. Let me ask you the first question. Is our potential limited or is it not? So if our potential is unlimited, then what is the biggest reason that ends up stopping us from getting to where we want to go? Because go back and look at the four quadrants that we drew yesterday. Okay, and I want you to look at some of the things that we wrote down. We wrote down belief, we wrote down potential, we wrote down actions, and we wrote down results. So what is one of the biggest things that's end up hindering most people from getting to where they want to go? Just like we said before, it's not the plan that sucks, okay? It's the state that sucks most of the time. So when we understand the belief level, this is one of the biggest things unlocking so many pieces inside of our journey that we're looking for that extra training. We're looking for that extra nugget, when in reality, a lot of us have been plugged in all year. The answer that most of us are looking for comes where? Inside. Being able to take time, be still, and really understand that this is probably where the biggest block is internally. Could be other people's approval, could be worrying about what our family thinks, could be worrying about what our closest people are starting to say about us. So this is huge. Okay. It was, let me correct that. Absolutely. Not anymore. Okay. So I love it. So here's how I want to go ahead and wrap up this portion of the segment. Okay. We're getting into quantum field talk. Okay. So Sean gave it this morning. We've all heard of the phrase, in order to get things that we've never had, we need to go ahead and do things we've never done. And Shane and Talino was tapped in on this one this morning. This one was fire because it really takes it to a whole different level, right? So instead of just keeping it as two pieces, what if we open it up? What if we peeled back the layers a little bit more? Okay. So what if we said it like this? It takes us being able to want something. Watch this, for true change. It takes us being able to want something that we've never had, for us to be able to think a way that we've never thought, which allows us to feel a way that we haven't felt before, which then in return allows us to go out and take the action. Did you catch that? Let's go ahead and run through that again, because this is so big if you really catch this. It takes us being able to want something that we haven't wanted before, to think a way we haven't thought, which in return gives us a feeling that we haven't felt before, and now we're able to go ahead and take the action. This is why Sean was talking about the magic is truly in the details. Because if we know this, if we have more potential, then what's the difference? If we have more potential, that means we can give more. In return, we can also become more. You see this? Because the second, and here's what happens with a lot of P600, P1000, you start making a little bit of money from our trading account. Here's what happens to a lot of people. And if you can remember this, this is going to save you a lot of time, energy, and setbacks. A lot of times we get to certain levels and we start thinking we know everything. We know how to trade. We know how to close three-way calls by ourselves. And guess what ends up happening? You turn into the DIY method, and the DIY method, do-it-yourself method, has a 90-95% fail rate. The second part of that is understanding this. When we know things, a lot of times what happens to our action when we think we know things? If you really pay attention, you're going to notice that we stop doing the things that actually got us to that level. We stop reading the books. We stop showing up. We stop asking questions. We stop calling our mentor because we believe that we're at a certain level that we don't need to study anymore. We don't have to learn anymore. This is why I tell you guys all the time, it is so important to always remain a student. The second we know everything is the second that we truly know nothing. Okay, so now I want to get into the last couple of bullet points touching into today. So our current success, watch this, ends up being based on the cost of our dreams. Okay, so this is big when Sean was talking about this morning. So pay attention right here. You ready? The cost of our dreams doesn't increase until the price that we have to pay actually goes up. So you got to think about it right now. Our dreams that we've laid out, we have a vision, we have goals, but here's the difference. A lot of us, we haven't taken the time to go ahead and lay out what's actually needed to get to that level. And I'll never forget, right, when I heard this from Simon Sinek, he was talking about, I want you to look at a field that you really want to go ahead and master, that you really want to go ahead and take to the top, and not only just look at the income that they're making, but I want you to go ahead and look at their work ethic, look at the daily rituals, look at the daily routines, and ask yourself, is this something that would be okay? Is something I'd be willing to do? A lot of people, they want the money, but they don't want actually what it takes to go ahead and get there. A lot of people want the impact, but they're not willing to do the inner work to go ahead and really create that success. So even for me, I've been there, right? I've been the type of person to get on calls, to get on new Zooms and not really be present. I've been the type of person just think I can go in my journal, write down my gratitude, and just because I did it, it's done. But you're going to realize there's something that's powerful that's missing from most people when you skim, when you just scratch the surface level of success. Because it's easy to go ahead and put a front and act like we're very busy. But the difference is many are busy, very few are actually productive. Okay, so watch this. When we're talking about the price that needs to be paid over the course of the years, I learned there was indeed a price that needed to be paid. When it came to events, I was doing events 2 times a week, right? I was driving multiple hours, literally multiple times during the month to go out to events, to go to mentorship, to go to sessions so I could continue to learn for myself. Honestly, continuously spending money to really go ahead and learn about all different aspects of growth, whether it be the mindset, whether it be about spirituality, whether it be about trading, whether it be about branding, spending money back into myself, spending money back into the brand. All of these things I had to realize was a price that needs to be paid for different levels of success. You see, every different level has a different price. That's why they say with great power comes what? Great responsibility. And responsibility is also what? Our ability to respond. So if we fail to respond to our responsibilities, guess what happens? We're not going to be ready to go ahead and be able to pay the price. So we're not going to be able to go ahead and enjoy the rewards of our fruits that we've actually been able to go ahead and create. So this is big. This is things that I've had to learn over the course of the year. So what is one of the fastest ways that we can go ahead and start getting the needle moving? Sean talked about it this morning. The first step for any of us to go ahead and get this needle moving, to go ahead and get right back into mode, is action. Action. What is one action? Forget about doing 25 things. What is 1 to 3 things that we can do today to go ahead and really move this ball forward so we can really get 1% better than we were yesterday, so we can really grow from our evaluation that we wrote down last week? This is the biggest thing to go ahead and start focusing on, even little chunks throughout the day, little details to go ahead and knock out. Because as I end this today with the visualization, you're going to see how all of this truly ties in together. Okay, so here we go. Jim Rohn, he was talking about it too, along with Sean. He was saying the only way to make more money is to go ahead and increase our value. So the only way to go ahead and increase our value is we've got to be able to pour into ourselves so we can then go out and pour into others. So here's the visualization to go ahead and tie faith in together, to go ahead and tie being able to turn on the lights so all of this can truly make sense. You ready? So Let's go ahead and think of a generator. We just had a hurricane over here, and I love this example because it really allows me to paint this picture, right? So think of a generator. When you plug in a generator and it starts spinning and it turns on, I want you to think about this like our thoughts, okay? Our thoughts is what gets the generator spinning, okay? So watch this. When it comes to visualization, remember I told you about scratching the surface level? This is what I did for so long, okay? When it comes to visualization, writing our notes, writing down our goals every morning and seeing it every morning, the problem is a lot of people can see it. They can see what is they write down. You can see your dream car. You can see the Mercedes. You can see yourself being able to travel to different countries. You can see yourself being able to do whatever is with your mother and your grandparents, whatever that might be. You can see that. But I want to tell you where the biggest shift is. Let me show you where the magic is. You ready? Here's the secret. The secret is the feeling. They wrote a whole book about it. It's called The Secret, right? And guess what the main concept of that entire book is? It's called the feeling. The secret is the feeling. So let me paint the picture for you. Ready? Your thoughts is what spins up the wheel. Your thoughts is what spins up the generator. Your emotions is what molds that energy to go ahead and be able to allow you to create in the quantum field. You see, it's easy to go ahead and get emotional. Everybody's emotional. So what does that mean? We're all thinking, okay, we're all thinking, spinning the wheel. Most of the problem, we're not thinking even our thoughts. We're not even thinking for ourselves. So the generator is spinning. Now, what happens when you put a negative emotion with it and you mold it with negativity? You mold it with anxiety. We mold it with depression. We mold it with not being good enough. Guess what that produces inside of the quantum field? More negativity, more things that we don't wish for. Whatever we think about, we bring about. Whatever we think about, we also bring about. So this is going to show you the power of not only of what it is that we think, but also about what it is that we feel. The faith that we have internally. Can you see it without being able to see it yet? Just like we talk about, many people have sight, few have insights. Okay, so let me go ahead and paint the visual for you. You ready? I want you to imagine we're inside of a mansion right now. Okay, close your eyes, get comfortable. Let's do a quick little 2-minute visualization. You're inside of a mansion right now, huge house. Okay, now to be able to go ahead and turn on the lights, I want you to think about this. The only way the lights turn on is with your thoughts and with being able to feel. So right now, the lights are very dull inside of this house, and there's 6 rooms inside of this mansion. Okay, and all 6 of these rooms are dull. And I want you to think about each 6 of these rooms is the 6 pillars that we have in our life. Family, mind, body, spirit, faith, society. Each one of these is our pillars inside of our house. Now, to really go ahead and light this house up, you know what it's going to take? It's going to take not only to be able to think the thoughts, to be able to think of the goals. What do we envision for our family? What do you envision your body looking like? How many withdrawals can you see coming out of your trading account? Okay, what type of impact do you see yourself bringing out to society? I want you to think about all that. Okay, now you're thinking about it. I want you to envision yourself walking on stage and thousands of people congratulating and thanking you for the impact, for the love that you've been able to give out into the world. How does that start making you feel? Okay, you're thinking about it. Now you attach the feeling. You start feeling the heat between your hands. You start feeling the cells starting to literally fire inside of your body, where you're starting to actually feel gratitude. You're starting to feel love. You're starting to feel a little bit of confidence inside of yourself. Well, here's what you're doing. You are now creating inside of the quantum field. And guess what happens? When you truly have the faith, when you truly believe, you're now going to be able to go ahead and turn the lights on in every single room. And your house is literally filled up. And guess what? You're going to shine so bright. There's literally going to be a light shining straight out, like straight through the roof. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those lights that shine at big events where you can see it from literally tens of miles away. That's what's going to happen to you. And your light is going to shine out in the universe. And whether people are in Japan, India, Dubai, the States, your energy is going to be able to ripple off into them. And this is where the magic really happens. This is where real service, real fulfillment, where impact is truly started from inside, from yourself. So family, when I truly understood this took me to a whole different level, because I now understand it physically, scientifically, what it truly means to be one candle that can go light millions and billions of other candles. And guess what? You and I, we are that candle. And all it takes is being able to start creating in the quantum field with our thoughts and with our feelings. To think different and to feel different is how you turn on the light switch in your life, how you turn on the lights, how you turn on the faith And simply by doing that, that one little step is so huge, because when you get comfortable with the time that you spend with your family, when you get comfortable with your body, when you get comfortable with your finances, guess what? We stop growing. So the second that we realize the energy that can be applied to each of these areas to really go ahead and create this quantum leap, this is where the magic happens, because all of them tie in together. When you start eating better, when you start going to the gym, you start thinking better, you start feeling better, you start moving with more abundance. So all of these plays a role. When you start giving love to your family, now you have energy to go out and overflow back into the world. So all 6 of these pillars, all 6 of these rooms, when we're able to go there and light them up, now we're able to truly live a life of abundance and let go of lack, let go of the old self that used to be. So family, this is my training for you guys today to go ahead and make the decision for today on November 15th, middle of the month, to go ahead and make the decision that no more giving in to your old self. This is the day that you can go ahead and make a decision to step into the new you, right? The best you, the best version of yourself. So family, I love you guys. Go out and have an abundant day. November is filled with more miracles coming to and through you. It is your favorite entrepreneur. If nobody told you today, family, I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. And I'm so proud of your growth that is yet to come. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in the mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. I love you, family. Go out and have an abundant day. It is Wednesday hump day. Get to it. Game time.
You know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun. You know what I mean. Sleep in peace.